Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Thursday night race out on Watopia Volcano Flat. Riders are going to be doing 31 miles, 49 kilometers total. And the A racers have gotten out onto the course for the Watopia Volcano Flat. As you can see here, it looks like we do have a large contingent. I saw at least, I believe, 60 riders or so. There was well over 150 riders signed up today for the race, so definitely a super popular race, especially for this time of year. So pretty cool to see all of the riders jumping in. We do have 220 to start for the C category riders as well. We do see them chatting away right now over in the start pens on their trainers right now. Wisconsin here raining out, so no need for race today. Lee Prouty is saying in there, good to see him hanging out over at the C category race. 2 minutes to start for those boys and girls. They are currently getting their race instructions from the game. But we do have here up at the front of the A race right now, Melting Tallow now, the Melting Man, coming from probably the inside of a dam right now, actually, somewhere in Canada, as he does work as an engineer actually in Canada inside of a, I believe, power generating dam, actually, so waterfall area. So he is hammering away somewhere there. We do see also right on his wheel, it looks like Jake Gren here as well from Sweden. Innovation in force today, I'm being told. Quentin the Fay is there as well, coming out of France, out of Vision Cycling. Tucker the Hedgehog has decided to race. Haven't seen Sonic out there in a while, so good to see Sonic the Hedgehog in the race today. C-Loke is there right along with Hugo from WBR, just to name a few. Going to look down from the top here. We do see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 riders from the KISS racing team. It does look like BRT is well represented with Jay Bank there as well. Innovation, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 riders coming from the Innovation team. Definitely be watching out for them for a solid result. Usually ones to be reckoned with out there. B. Clark, though, from the BRT team, though, making his way to the front. Looks like Hodges, though, and Bank going to take advantage of the uphill here at that 3% gradient right now. Up at the front, we do have Jay Bank there moving up very quickly. Then there is Hodges, though, the initial instigator. They're up in that 8 watts per kilogram or so. Over the top first on that Tron bike, getting that avatar to absolutely kick it. Right on his wheel, it looks like C-Loke from Innovation coming around his teammate. It is Melting Tallow there with Hodges jumping right on that wheel. Jacobson there for coming out of Sweden with Gren now, just holding onto the wheel there as well. So now looking up from the helicopter view, we can start to see some of the riders who are starting to fall off the back there. It does look like WBR having a little bit of struggle. Maybe Tweety there as well. Was that Tweety that I spotted actually amongst the group toward the back here? I only saw one WBR kit, so maybe not. El Sousa is here from the PTZ team, though. 4.6 watts per kilogram, stuck in the dust here. 2 seconds back, so that will be the gap now. As you did see all that dust flying there, it is difficult to see where the avatar is in front of you and grab the draft correctly. Woodhead here from the BRT team now, just hanging on to the back end of the group, as you can see. As we get into the helicopter view, we'll be able to see what the gaps are they're starting to form. 4 seconds back to Sousa and Vanderplug there out of the Netherlands. International field here. Definitely super, super strong field. The C racers are just taking off out on the course right along with the D category racers. They're going to give us a quick little spy into what is happening with these C racers as they jump out onto the course. We do have the back end of the C race here just coming into view. Let's go ahead and catch their starters. The starters, one of the most crucial times in the race. We got McKay, K, Jen, Fawcett, and Johnson here immediately popping off the back just a little bit here. Croft Dog here now coming out of Australia. Dog Trop here as well out of the Netherlands. PTZ represented with PJ Alfonso up toward the front of the C category. We do have Vermilion here coming out of South Africa with Team WBR right on his wheel with D. Lewis right along with another WBR, Lee Prouty here actually brazen dropouts, as well as he's riding for out of Wisconsin. That's a name I recognize actually in the local road race scene actually. D. Lewis right with him. It looks like Elder as well. The gap is opening up immediately though. It looks like about 1 second or so on this downhill. They're going to need to close that down right away, or this could be game over GG. About 33 miles per hour. Now Vig here 34. So it looks like this group is going to get back together here momentarily now. But there definitely were a few that did fall off right from the get-go with that crazy 5, 6, 7 watts per kilogram start. Now, this is a C category race. For some of you who are just tuning in for the first time to racing or do not know what happens with the categories out on Zwift, the rider categories are as such. For A categories, it is 4.0 watts per kilogram or FTP or higher. For B categories, 3.2 to 4.0. For C category, 2.5 to 3.2. D category is 2.5 to 3.2 watts per kilogram for your FTP. And then the E category a lot of times is a 1.5 to 2.5 for the group ride. Zwift races are categorized by your watts per kilogram, your FTP divided by your body weight in kilograms. You might be wondering, what is this FTP thing? How do I figure that out? And what is going on with an FTP? A, B, C, and D. Where do I fit? Well, what is an FTP? Functional threshold power is the maximum wattage you can sustain for 60 minutes straight. FTP is used in Zwift to determine target power numbers for workouts. FTP accuracy is important to get the most from your workouts and from racing. So as you can see, for a functional threshold power, 4.0 watts per kilogram. How many watts that you can actually hold in real life or in game, as sometimes they do differ just a little bit for some riders. But at 410 watts that you can see up above me there currently for a Woodhead from the BRT team at 181 beats per minute. Now that you take, if you divide that wattage he's putting out in real time, all the way over on the other side of the screen, you can actually see a ratio that's continually changing there. 4.5, 5.1, 6.0 watts per kilogram. And that is the ratio that we are using then in this for functional threshold power, what you can hold for 1 hour straight for these rider categories. So in the A race right now, it is assumed that these riders will be able to hold about a 4.0 or higher for 1 hour straight. Now, they might not do that for the duration of the race. Drafting, tactics, all kinds of stuff like that comes into the race. So they're probably going to be holding somewhere though around 3.5 to 4.5 or higher even in the A category for their power. So definitely the front end of this race though is crazy fast, elite level for that 4.0 or higher. Anyone that is in those lower categories in that B, C, or D category though, that does do an FTP test during the race. So essentially ZwiftPower.com has a built-in test. So if you do 20 minutes at higher than the category there, you actually will be asked to get upgraded to the category up from there actually. So most of the riders though in these categories are jumping in the correct one. We've been racing, riding, and doing workouts out on Zwift for quite a while. A lot of the riders in here are very familiar with the rules and very familiar with about where they stand amongst their other riders, and definitely adjust accordingly. Roger Henriks, good to see you, says, loved watching the commentary. Love having you here, Roger. Thanks a lot for stopping in over at the Facebook channel on Zwift. We're having a blast having you here and doing the race commentary for you. We do also have Tomer Cohen coming in saying, go race WBR. So definitely have some fans out there for a few of the teams that are out there tonight. And then we do have Jens Fried Rasmussen saying that innovation's out in full force. Definitely out there in full force today. Go on, lad. Ian Young is saying as well. Good to have you here, Ian Young, as well. So back with the front end of the race. If you would like to jump into the race with some comments today, you can head on over to Zwift's Facebook, or you can tweet at ZCommunityLive, at ZCommunityLive. We should be able to bring in your Twitter, interaction with us through our social media integration. So now it looks like we're about to head into one of the crucial points out on course today. It's going to be 4 laps out on the Watopia Flats. So it's going to be a long race today, but this is going to be the key moment on each lap. Jay Bank here right along with Woolrich, and it looks oh, Tweety is out there. I was not mistaken, so we do have Tweety from WBR as well. They're all kind of positioning themselves at this point, waiting for the climb into the volcano. As you can see, here is this 2-tier climb. It kicks one time at a fairly sharp gradient here. As you can see up toward the front, Jacobson here out of Sweden now making a little bit of a kick into that 453 watts or so, 159 beats per minute, 120 RPMs. You can see all that information up at the top left of the screen there for what he's throwing down for real power and real effort right now. The Melty Man is there as well. Hodges is there too from the KRT, making that first kick and getting a little bit of a gap, but now it flattens out a little bit, and then there's a second kick up and over the top into the actual volcano in and amongst the lava there. Does look like they're able to grab a little bit of gap over Gavin Arbor there from Innovation. Great Trick is there as well, 6.5 watts per kilogram. Tweety able to hang on just barely, it looks like, but now it looks like KRT have shown up to race. Innovation grabbing onto that wheel quickly, knowing that if these two get away, it's going to be a tough day for the rest of the field to try and bring them back in. Szerzynski going as well, 14 pulling there in that in-gamba kick. Grimshaw following it up. Moving our way back here, Hugo from Race WBR able to hang on to the group that is going to be dragging those two back into the fold. Looking back a little bit here, it looks like the ones that are suffering off the back from that attack will be Tucker here right along with Vanderster coming out of the Netherlands now. Quentin Lefay at the back, just hanging out. 169 beats per minute out of France now. And definitely, well, looks like he's struggling a little bit. Not getting too much of a rest at this point. Lefay here going to need to be smart about when he burns these matches, as that one looked like it really hurt. 171 beats per minute. Looks like he's having to kick up a little bit here to hang on to the wheels of Szerzynski at the back end of this group. Hodges made his way to the back as well after those attacks. Wonder if there's any kind of counters that will be taking place. Definitely up at the front now, it looks like there is a counter taking place. The Melty Man kicking one more time up into 9 watts per kilogram for a moment there, I believe. But 1 second is the difference between him and the Innovation rider. It looks like right along with Bard from WBR, chasing him right on down. He's not going anywhere as they head into their finish of the first lap out on course here. So now back in with the C category racers. They're heading into the old Italian village here in just a moment, and it looks like at the front end of this race it will be WBR right along with Vermeulen now. 183 beats per minute, 3.9 watts per kilogram. Vermeulen here with a crazy attack up in that 5.3 watts per kilogram. Let's go ahead and check ZwiftPower.com right now, see what's happening with this effort, as that's going to give us what their average has been for the duration. He's just set it at 5.3 and not going anywhere from there. I have a feeling we may have a flag on this rider within ZwiftPower.com with that kind of crazy effort coming down the pipeline. It looks like almost robotic there. So definitely going to be a little bit of a flag, I believe, especially within the C category with 5.3 watts per kilogram all day long. So moving our way back then to the Team WBR rider who was trying to hang on with him, 3.5 watts per kilogram. If he was just sitting in the wheel, he could be doing about 3.5, 3.3 or so. But it looks like he lost the wheel of the rider up ahead here and is now falling off. Vermeulen now definitely up in that 5.3. We are seeing the Team WBR Nathan here at 4.4 watts per kilogram. D. Lewis 4.1 so far. That is for the duration of the first 20 minutes or so. So definitely over category limits. So going to be getting an upgrade there. Lewis, Rugren, Sims, Cross, E. Graham. We are seeing upgrade after upgrade. Crazy amount of upgrades. Looks like BJ Alfonso actually, first one within category limits actually. This has been a crazy fast start within this C category, boys and girls. Absolutely just flying. And a lot of riders are going to get a lot of congratulations. Where is our everybody gets an upgrade meme? Because we need it right about now, boys and girls. It's definitely a lot of riders with a lot of upgrades. BJ Alfonso maybe going to get the auto win here on the race, as he's the only rider. Maybe Murray is in there as well. He has made the lead group just barely. Well, nope, sorry. He is off the back. 609, it looks like. 5:43 is the actual time to the main group. So it looks like BJ might get the auto win here without an upgrade in the C category. Everybody else there amongst this C category, looks like it's time for the B race, boys and girls. Now, Melting Man here is 9.7, 9.8 watts per kilogram, 7.5 here coming from Hodges. The boys from KISS Racing Team haven't shown up to mess around. It's not Grupo Compacto all day long. It is off the front right now. Szerzynski now 7.2 watts per kilogram. Innovation, they're trying to chase that down, but they've got a solid gap now, as you can see from the helicopter view. They keep working together here at 6.35+ watts per kilogram. Those boys behind only have 4.2. They may not be seen again, and these two definitely have the type of TT effort that could hold off the rest of the group here. Now we do see the BRT team here, 4.7 at the front. Wallace now from Innovation saying, no, we're not going to let that get away now. 5.1 at the front. 180 beats per minute, though, might not have a whole lot left in the tank as Hodges sits in on the Melting Man here, 157. Gonna have to really kick up right now, though, if they're gonna try and keep that speed high enough. They got to be doing about 34 miles per hour plus at the bottom of this hill in order to hold off a fast chasing pack who's up into 33 miles per hour right here. 34 we're seeing. Will they kick into 35? We'll have to see in just a second. Not quite, but we are seeing 35 here from the pack. And as you can see, the pack not doing quite that much more power, but because of the way the pack works, they definitely build on the speed of each other. It's only 3 seconds, so they're gonna have to really kick into a high wattage right now to hold off this fast chasing pack. 5.0 watts per kilogram at the front. The Melting Man here, 154 beats per minute right now. Still 3 seconds, but Tweedy now at the front, backing off a little bit, though. Actually, it looks like Gren now going to the front there out of Sweden, 6 watts per kilogram. Very quickly, and noticing that this could be a threat, brings it right almost back into the fold. Now, if they do rest up, though, it is, like we say, a race of meters. And it is 13 meters still. If they do not get within 5 meters, there will be no draft. It looks like KRT have backed off at the front end of this race and are not going to be continuing with this attack. Can see that the writing is on the wall at this point. All back together, and now going to be back to holding hands until the next attack that will most likely come on the uphill section that's going to be coming here in just a moment. Solid effort usually over and out of the uphill section, out of the Ocean Boulevard. So definitely be watching out for the attacks here in just a moment. Great trick here, TRCC here. We can see always a rider that's good to see out on course. He's been racing and riding out on Zwift since beta. Been definitely has that Tron bike, as you can see. A lot of times people ask what is going on with the Tron bike. We're getting lots of questions coming in actually over at one of the streams here. So the Tron bike is a 50,000 meters. It takes 50,000 meters of climbing in order to open up what the community has called the Tron bike. It's actually called the Zwift concept bike officially in game. There are challenges in game, that you can do in order to open up certain gear in the game. So there's a ride across California, there's a ride across Italy, as well as the Everesting challenge where you climb Mount Everest. I believe it is 5 times 50,000 meters in order to grab that Zwift concept bike. It's actually the fastest bike in game besides the Cervelo S5 with a beta wheel set, though. A wheel set that was only available in the beta of the game. The full disc wheel in the back, actually. Which wheel would it be? I believe it is... Sorry, I'm having a moment here as these boys and girls are coming up over the top of the climb here. Boys, Christopher here, 187 beats per minute. Pete Christopher out of the UK there, with Jay Gren now following up very closely there. But that would be the Cervelo S5 with... What wheel set is it on the back there? It's a full disc wheel on the back. The fastest bike in game with the beta wheel set. Only available though to those who were in the beta. They may be opening it up, I would think, though, in Zip, the Zip 808. That's what it is, full disc in the back for the fastest bike in game on certain courses, though. I believe, I think some courses favor some bikes over others, and they are minute seconds that you can gain, but it definitely is just tiny bits of wattages. When it comes down to just power versus power out on course and the speed that is needed, as we say, a race of meters, it really does matter. That little bit actually in the game. As you can see here, the Tron bike, definitely a very popular one to be riding on, being the fastest bike besides that Cervelo S5 with the Zip 808 in the back, full disc actually. So every evening, who is winning? How's it going to Richard Morehouse? So currently at the front end of the race, we have, it looks like Jeep Herrick here. A lot of innovation boys actually are currently quote unquote winning. Nobody's getting away in a break just yet. Jacobson here. KRT is still in it amongst the front runners. WBR is there as well with Tweety, as well as Bard. So a lot of teams represented still, as well as a few riders riding unattached. It does look like a solo PTZ rider is there as well with Jake Gren, the Melty Man, as usual with KRT in the lead group. Hodge, it looks like Hodgson's out there as well. Szerzynski now, the Hedgehog, K. Augustine innovation there. Unattached riders, Van der Stur now off the back, it looks like here. Quinn the Fae for Vision Cycling hanging in there. Woolrich riding unattached. Lots of riders still to try and hang on for the W out here in the KISS night race, Thursday night race. So that's the current situation here out on course. I'm going to go ahead and open up a few of our chats over at the Mixer channel specifically. As usually we have a ton of questions coming through over there, as a lot of people newer to the world of Zwift wondering what is happening here. And how's it going there, Bombay? It's good to have you here hanging out at the cast over at the Mixer channel. Really appreciate you guys. XCS Tricks, good to see you here as well. Looks like didn't have any issue. Let's see here. Oh, having a little moderation issue there, it sounds like. Now, as these boys are waiting for the section into the Italian Village, let's head back on over to the C race and see what's happening with these boys. It looks like we do have Bring the Doll coming out of Norway here in the C category, right along with WBR with Nathan. These guys are all be getting an upgrade. So let's move into the B category here, see what's happening at the front end of the Bs. As it does look like at the front, we do have Street here from the KRT team, longtime racer out on Zwift. Barroso there as well. Does look like Unwin with Goddess. And then it is going to be Eric the Drill Schlang has shown up for a race out there today, as well as they're heading out of the underground here tunnel through Ocean Boulevard. It is going to be Meyer right along with Carlson. Allen is there as well. Race WBR here with Sanderson. Huge group at the front end of this B category, actually. 8.4 watts per kilogram coming from Jehu now, as WBR is in full force, actually, at the front end of this race. L. Dix here right along with MR, and then Colonel Cripps here as well. WBR, huge contingent, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders at the front end of this race. Curtis is right there along with them from the BRT team, actually, here. And as we can see, another rider coming through there, EF there coming unattached as well. Termont there from Vision Cycling, K. Ruff from Vision Cycling, but definitely a battle here to hang on to this pace that WBR is setting at the front now. Cole now from Race WBR trying to get back with his teammates. Trout off the back now. A surfer dude coming out of the USA just hanging on. Looks like Eric the Drill Schlang is off the back now at this point. Not going to be hanging on to this group, I don't believe. This group gets away right now, they will not be seen again. M. Thackers Jr. here trying to get back on terms with the front end of the race. We'll see if he'll do so. Mano coming out of Portugal trying to grab onto a wheel. Will this chase group be able to bring them back in? 4 watts per kilogram here coming from Mano. But at the front, they are hammering 4.7 watts per kilogram from C. Kolb right now. And it looks like this may be the first major break in the B race amongst these riders right now. The A category is heating up as well. They're about to be heading into the Volcano in just a moment. But it looks like Race WBR has absolutely blown things apart out here on course. So it looks like WBR for the B category is going to be walking away with the breakaway right now as they head over into the monument section, into the S turns out on Ocean Boulevard. As we head into the Volcano, though, with the A category, let's see what's happening at the front end of this race. There were a few attacks as they were heading through Ocean Boulevard, but nothing has gone anywhere just yet. Innovation here at the front, just controlling the pace. 3.8 watts per kilogram, 173 beats per minute. We've seen some very high heart rates all the way through, though, which is interesting. Definitely not too many attacks, but all the heart rates have been fairly consistently up into that threshold effort or so. 134, though, from Mateus, who's one of the only ones with the lower heart rate right now, and definitely resting up, waiting for the attacks. 171 coming from Christopher. Hedgehog here, 137, excuse me. Clark there, 165. Quentin the Fay, 160. So, a few of these riders with a lower heart rate are going to have a lot more to work with as soon as they kick up into the Volcano climbs with this S-turns here. Moving our way back here, we do see 135 from the Hedgehog. Great Trick Arbor, they're 142. And we're trying to get eyes on Szerzynski here, 160 here. V. Hugo, 162. The Great Trick Man here, 151 now. So a few of these riders with a little bit more left in the tank as they head into the climbs. That's definitely going to matter because how many beats you have left to work with is a huge determination as to whether or not you have the power to throw down and the matches to burn into the crucial sections of the course. And this is definitely a Gruppo Compacto tactical race as they head into the climbs here. Only time out on course where we see any kind of serious effort, most likely to try and break things apart. You see an attack up and over the top of this 2-tier, and then usually there's a counter if somebody wants to, as this 1 minute or so max over the top of this climb, usually not enough to break things apart too much amongst those who are all kind of equal amongst each other here. But we do see at the front here, the rider who's attacking here is Jay Gren from PTZ here, attacking prior to even hitting the climb. He does grab over 5 meters. See Loke there jumping right on board there, but now it looks like PTZ was just looking to try and preempt the attacks there. Now as he goes backwards there, the Melting Man now 4.1 watts per kilogram with the drafting power up actually in order to put out less wattage as he hangs onto the wheels here of the attacks coming from the riders. Innovation Boy now kicking one more time there. Clark though going right along with him. It is going to be Wallace with Clark out of New Zealand attacking up over the top of the climb into the Volcano now. The Melting Man 1 second back from him. Wallace now 6.0 watts per kilogram, 190 beats per minute. Crazy heart rates being thrown down right now. B. Clark there, 5.0 watts per kilogram out of New Zealand just hanging on. Now the gaps are forming though. Melting Man has to get on terms here. Moving our way back. Who is falling off, biting the dust off the back? It does look like LaFay just barely hanging on. And it looks like nobody going anywhere just yet, but 179 beats per minute. Will he be able to hang on to this pace? Anybody allows the gap to go ahead of him, it will be curtains at this point for these guys on the back as the attacks are going left and right. The counters are coming at the front here. We do see B. Clark still kicking into 5 watts per kilogram, now settling down a little bit as no one has gone anywhere just yet at the front end of this race. Good to see Martin Jorvik hanging out over at the broadcast. James Hodges saying over there as well. Good to see you, James. James Hodges actually chatting away over at the Mixer channel. For those of you who did not know, ZwiftPower.com, one of the major developers there, and one of the guys who makes all of the magic happen over there, would not even exist without Mr. Hodges there. So a big thank you to him. Good to see him typing away as we are hammering away out on course. Is he still in and amongst the group here and typing right now over at the Mixer channel? Very common of the man James Hodges is he is hammering away to be chatting away as well over there. Vividist guy, good to see you over at the Mixer channel. Thanks for tuning in. Good to have you here. Looking back here now at the C category, things are starting to head on over to the the B category. They're starting to head on over to the Volcano now. And it looks like Trout here with Eagle, RC, it's all back together actually. WBR threw down an attack, but was unable, it looks like, to hang on to the gap that they were able to form. Now at the front we are seeing Shrek Sigafredo actually at the front on that S-Works there. Colonel now here as well. That's interesting. He's on an X-Works bike, but then has the Trek Sigafredo kit on there. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be in the full-on. He definitely matching, though. Definitely matching in kit, though, that's for sure, as far as the green on green there goes. Now we do see WBR here now. Sanderson there with Birch. Van Molsel now out of the Netherlands there in the green kit. Then we do have, it looks like Sanderson making his way to the front. 164 beats per minute now. And now we are seeing, it looks like WBR trying to make their way to the front. We'll see if they get another attack here in this B category from WBR and if they're able to break things apart as they head into their second time into the Volcano. No team experimental out there today. CX Tricks is saying, no, it looks like they may have raced prior to this in the XRS race as their main team race out there, showing up for the XRSs. Bombay's we'll just see I will leave that alone. Not sure what's going on there, Bombay's, but looks like the mods have been warning you. We'll give you one last chance here. And just make sure to keep it polite as you possibly could. We'd appreciate that very much. Slang now up toward the front here. It looks like 5.9 watts per kilogram. Looks like he was able to get back on terms. Played it smart maybe. And used the rest of the group to get back in and amongst this main group. Solid effort here so far. Curtis now BRT here now. Thacker's there as well. Colonel now. Cripps now making his way toward the front. WBR again with the attacks through the climbs at the front now. 4 or 5 racers now absolutely demolishing this race here. 5.0 watts per kilogram. Colonel Cripps now as well. 4.9 just hanging on the wheel now. We are seeing the junior rider Thacker's there. 14 miles in, 182 beats per minute, beating like a butterfly. And it looks like Carlson here from Innovation here, just trying to hang on to the pace of WBRR, setting K-Ruff there, also 171. Tucker in amongst this group from the A category had fallen off. Tremont just barely hanging on. Broso coming from PTZ. It looks like at the back now, it is all strung out. And when they get strung out like this, what we always say, that is the moments of truth out on course. If any rider in front of you, when it's all strung out like this and you're just looking for that wheel right in front of you, if any rider lets a gap go, it's a huge, huge effort, or usually it means that the pack is about to split. So will they be able to do so and hang on here? It looks like it's all back together. No attacks just yet. These are the moments, though, that you want to counter when it's strung out like that. You know riders are just suffering to hang on to the wheel right in front of them. It doesn't look like anybody's got the effort, except for EF here at 185 beats per minute, 322 watts, gains a 2-second gap, and he's going to go for a 2-lap run off the front here. Going for it, taking a swing for the ropes right now. 3.8 watts per kilogram. Van Mossel now out of the Netherlands, seeing this happen, not letting it go just yet. 4.2 watts per kilogram. I think he's going to be dragged right back in to the fold. So back in with the front end of the A's, is I don't think we're going to have any counters. They are heading into Ocean Boulevard here. And I believe we did have a few drop off from the pace of the front end of the A's recently. The Hedgehog right along with Quentin LeFay here still as well. Able to hang on 152. Excuse me, nobody dropped off just yet, it looks like. Well, actually, no, it was Tweety. That's what I was looking for. Tweety dropped off here. Actually, a CVR participant. Good to see him out on course here, hammering away. And 3.1 watts, becoming 163 beats per minute. Looks like it might have been a little bit of connection issue for him for that drop off, actually. 155 here coming from Mr. Quentin LeFay. So definitely backed off about 30 beats per minute or so since that last attack. They got a lap and a half to go as they head through Ocean Boulevard here. Now, things calming down out here on course. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit while we wait for the next attacks about what is happening in the next month or so. The Zwift Academy has full on launched the open registration for the men and the women. Just recent announcement for the Team Dimension Data actually partnership with Zwift for the Zwift Academy. Pretty awesome to have that. And as well as the women's Academy was launched about a month and a half earlier for registration. If you haven't done so already, you can head over to academy.zwift.com and get registered for the program. It will officially start, I believe it is September 1st, the first round of competition for that program. Let's go ahead and check out the what happened last year For the Women's Zwift Academy, for those of you who have not seen it and do not know what Zwift Academy is about, we do have a lot of new viewers hanging out over at the Mixer as well as the Twitch channel. I want to make sure that what is going on with Zwift Academy? Well, it is the opportunity for riders to train together and push each other through this this competition, but then also the opportunity to grab a pro contract. For the women, one woman amongst the entirety of the academy will grab a pro contract, and then for the men, one U23 between 18 and 23 years old will be able to grab a pro contract as well with Team Dimension Data Continental Team. So as we're waiting for the next attacks to come on through, here what happened last year with the Women's Zwift Academy.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
So that is the Zwift Academy launch for both the men and the women. You can head on over, like they said, over to academy.zwift.com. As you can see over here on my desktop, there is the women's as well as the men's academy. Details on both of those can be clicked on over there and go right on in and see all of the details for the men and women's Zwift Academy. Pro contracts on the line, as well as the ability to train with a community that's pushing each other on out on Zwift. Rides and races will be taking place from September on forward. There's already actually group rides taking place for the women actually that are being led, as well as maybe some group rides for the men coming up as well. So we'll definitely get some interviews coming in from some of those who are involved with the ZA for more and more details as they come up. So, but back at the front end of the KISS race right now, as you can see, we do have, it looks like a lead group of, I would say, about 20 riders. Real quick, let's just see what it has to say over at zwiftpower.com for the front end of this race. It does look like it is still actually 20 riders at the front end of the race. As far as those who have had any kind of solid, let's see here, C. Lokir as of recently, a third, and a first place, it looks like. Right along with, it looks like Great Trick here as well. With a win actually recently. What was that race in that he took a W in? Because it's a 14th and an 8th and then a solid W there. 42 races out on Zwift for Brian Great Trick. Looks like he took a W in the KISS Sunday Europe race recently and then got an upgrade to the A category. So that's what's going on there. Got a 14th then back on the 1st of August in the KISS Europe race, actually just 2 days ago on Tuesday. Actually, Brian Great Trick, solid race for him, it looks like there. Looking through, looks like we also have Mateus there for Bike Point with a second, and a 9th in recent history. Jay Gren there from Sweden, not a rider that I'm super familiar with, And it would make sense for Team PTZ there. He's got 2 races actually out on Zwift. So a newer rider to the world of racing out on Zwift. So big welcome to him to racing out on Zwift. Gren here looks like for PTZ still hanging in there, 164 beats per minute, looking strong. Took a W in the Team Italy Gladiators race earlier today, and then in the EVR Asia race as well, took a 2nd place actually in that race yesterday. Solid efforts all around. He was Zada tagged back on, it looks like, the 31st of July. But recently it looks like maybe he had that tag taken off as he maybe have sent in some strain gauge power meter information. Not sure. Looking through here, I'm not seeing any Zada approval on him. So we'll have to wait and see what the update is on that rider as they are making their way into the Volcano momentarily here for their 3rd lap out here on the race here for 4 laps on the Volcano flat course here. So up at the front now, we do see it is going to be V Hugo now from the Race WBR Melting Man as well. It is very Grupo Compacto at this point. Wallace here, 178 beats per minute. Definitely all waiting for the attacks up and over the top of the climb. The S-turn climb, that 2-tier climb, most popular place to make those attacks. Innovation though, to make their way to the front here, this is definitely a tactic to be using to control the race right now, it looks like. But Hodges is not having any of it here. 8.7 watts per kilogram. And he knows that the attacks prior to the climb into the volcano are going to loosen up the legs of some of the riders here. If anybody is still suffering right now after the efforts out of the underground, are going to have a difficult time chasing this down here. Szynski now seeing it's a threat, making his way to the front. 20 meters is the gap though at 6 watts per kilogram. It is 2 seconds here. Hodge is going to have to hold on to this pace for quite a while here and still be able to kick into the climb. Going to be a difficult day for him, though, as he's got Loke as well as Arbor and quite a few other innovation boys just sitting in amongst the pack here, getting dragged up by, it looks like, the likes of Peric, and then it is going to be the Bike Point man out of Portugal. So Hodges now still keeping the pace high, but not going anywhere just yet. 5.3 watts per kilogram. Now at the front, gets caught very quickly, actually, and that gets shut down. Trying to bring the heart rates high, though, before they kick up into the Volcano. Maybe a smart effort. Now he's going to rest up, hopefully bring his heart rate down a little bit, and then be able to go one more time up and over the top of this 2-tier climb and maybe be able to break things apart. Rather than Grupo Compacto holding hands, the idea there was to, I think, try and raise the heart rates up a little bit at least and try and cause some mayhem prior to this very quick and fast attack up and over the top of these climbs that usually doesn't drop anyone off except for those who are really suffering. So try and get away with a group of 1, 2, or 3 on this flatter course can be extremely difficult. Now we are seeing at the front, though, it is going to be Jay Leclerc from the KRT team. It looks like KRT are getting organized, actually, with these attacks as they are sending one out the front, then another, and then another. The Hedgehog is in there. Jay Leclerc right along with Hodges. Hodges now 8.5 watts per kilogram. Innovation there as well, as you can see. But at the front now, with that arrow power-up, it is going to be a KRT rider. Melting Man now, 7.8 watts per kilogram. Grabs a little bit of breathing room now. Will they be able to bring him back in the fold? I'm not sure. Well, now we're seeing another arrow power up coming from an innovation boy. Now Jay Gren there going right along with it. Hodges now just sitting in 2.0 watts per kilogram. Now going to kick one more time on the uphill here. 5.4 watts per kilogram. 166 beats per minute. Jay Gren now 6.4, hanging on to that 1 second gap. It's going to be about a continuance though over the top of the climb now to keep the speed. Will they be able to continue on with this effort? Will anybody get dropped off? Looks like the 2 Canadians now just hanging on to the front end, not able to drop anybody off just yet. Everybody grabbing that draft and getting dragged right on up to the wheels now. Jacobson here out of Sweden. Race WBR with V Hugo. Everybody still hanging on, except for the Melty Man. After those attacks, gets a dropout. Boys and girls, 0 watts per kilogram. It looks like it's all over for the Melting Man after attacking off the front. That is too bad to see. Now starting to kick up again into 0.4. Nothing left, it looks like, in the motivation after that dropout, it looks like. So now off the back with a mechanical flat tire. Doesn't look like the KISS Racing team car is going to get him back into the race just yet. So now it's going to be up to Hodges and Jay Leclerc here as well at the front of this race. The Hedgehog too, Sonic the Hedgehog. You have to collect a couple more coins, get that spin up ability going. We'll see if he can grab a solid result out there today, but they're going to have their work cut out for them with innovation out there today, as well as BRT with Jay Bank here. Up toward the front, Gavin Arbor now as well. 148 beats per minute. 5.9 watts per kilogram, though, coming from Loke as he goes out the front with the counter attack. He might not be seen again, actually. 170 beats per minute now. 4.3 watts per kilogram. Hedgehog now making himself known right along with Hodges at the front, trying to bring back the man. C. Loke now, as you can see here, looking over his shoulder. There's the chase now as they come through the tunnel out onto the forward Watopia section into the flat and into the lap finish out here on the course now. So will they be able to? Will he be able to hold off the strong chasing group now? There are a lot of riders still, besides Innovation right now, that are able to pull this back in. Szerzynski seeing it as a threat, makes his way to the front. Innovation covers very quickly with Perrick now. Perrick not going to chase his teammate down. Chases down Szerzynski, backs off the 3.3 watts per kilogram to allow Loke to continue to go away at that 3 seconds at 5.4 watts per kilogram. Grimshaw now seeing the threat, kicks up into 5.3 watts per kilogram, knowing that he doesn't want it to slow down and keep Innovation within their sights. With that aero power up, I think it's all going to be said and done right now for Loke off the front, as that is going to keep the speed crazy high of the entire group. Does look like there is one falling off with Gren and maybe a few others on the back foot now of this chase group. As we look forward, here we go. Grimshaw now 3.4 watts per kilogram, 35 miles per hour. Not having to put out a whole lot on that downhill with that lowered drag on his avatar on the downhill section here. So solid effort there coming from Grimshaw. Innovation now 3.9 watts per kilogram on the front, but not going anywhere with 1 lap to go. And going in the bell lap right now, boys and girls. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go out on course for the KISS EU today. Lots of comments coming through here. Richard Morehouse saying that I'm still recovering from Tuesday's XRS Smash Fest. Team X versus Vision. Good to see you out there, Morehouse. It was a crazy race out there and a lot of fun in that. It was actually Monday, I believe, that Richard Morehouse. Actually Monday, I believe, that we had that in the decap. But thanks a lot for tuning in and thanks a lot for racing. Pedro Barroso saying, long live the B group. Good to see you there, Pedro. We'll get back with the Bs in just a moment for the finish up of their race. Go Colonel for the win there, Matt Healy is saying. Marty Henderson coming in there to the Colonel. I love it, dude. And Race WBR definitely has some fans out there today. Jack Dennis Sutherland, getting a shout out there from Tracy Sutherland's. Had to bail. And the baby monitor is on. Wife's out and I've screaming baby monitor. Real world problems. Been there, Liam Bard. Been there for sure. Good to have you out there with the baby monitor next to the bike, though. Know how that goes for sure, Liam. Most of my training, actually, throughout, I believe it was the year of 2000. Let's see here. The year of 2000. Let's see here. 9. In 2010 was done with a baby monitor with my little guy Kyle, actually, from the hours of 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. actually on the trainer. So understood 100% completely what's going on there with your situation there, Liam Bard. All right, now Jay Hodges here, 5.4 watts per kilogram at the front. They're into that last lap. I'm not sure the KRT is going to be able to break things apart with the likes of Innovation out there today, but we'll see if it's able to throw down now. Innovation now. See Loke. Wallace is there setting up for his teammates. It looks like Perrick. There's 172 beats per minute. Looking through the heart rates here. 170, 159 from Loke. I think he's definitely feeling fairly comfortable still. Hodges here. 5.5 watts per kilogram, though, keeping the pace. Stupid high here. Clark here, 159, still looking fairly comfortable. Arbor there, 144. We'll give him a ride on as well. Looking very steady right now. Jay Leclerc now, maybe one of the threats still coming from KRT. He's been sitting in and fairly quiet for most of the duration of the race today, so I'm not sure that he may be able to hang on. I'm not sure that they've been watching, but he's definitely been sitting in and waiting. It looks like Jay Bank there as well, 165, 164. Looks like 177 just hanging on. It's going to be the BRT boy here, 8 Woodhead, as well as it looks like Hugo looking solid here. 161 though, up into at least a tempo pace there for Hugo. Gren watching out for the PTZ rider out of Sweden here. Wallace now 174 up at the front, just being a workhorse. 145 there from Arbor as he chases down Jacobson at that 166. We'll give him a ride on as well as they come on through here. 3.8 watts per kilogram. Nobody wanting to go too hard just yet. 2 times Zwifters, 1 time trainer, real world problems. Been demoted to cooking duties tonight. Wilts Mrs. Rides. I love it there, Kieran Salt. That is an absolutely great story, actually. And demoted to the cook. I don't know if that's a demotion. That might be a promotion, Salt. I think you got a promotion out there with Real World Problems #2. And definitely building up some points there, it sounds like, as the Mrs. Rides. Absolutely loving it. And great job out there, Kieran Salt. I hope it's good. And definitely going to be a reward for the riding out there today, I would think, with the food coming through from Kieran there, cooking it up there. So now it looks like Grimshaw here, Mateus there, B. Clark as well, Jacobson, Arbor, and Hugo here. Bank now it looks like here, it looks well as Augustin, all hanging in. From commentator's view, do you prefer a flat crit or a more hilly route? I like it when the riders attack. That is the best. Jens Fried Rasmussen. These races can be exciting depending on what the racers themselves do. So I've seen races on the flatter courses that have been way more exciting than any climbing course. The climbing courses tend to be, especially just the straight climbing up the mountains, tend to be a little bit more like they just kind of stud it at FTP and go, and it just breaks apart, so there isn't very many dynamic moves going on. The flatter courses definitely can be very interesting if the tactics are played out well, especially if you have a lot of teams involved. With just a few teams and a few unattached riders, a lot of times it can be a lot more grupo compacto. No matter what, though, the Forward Watopia or a Richmond course or a London Pretzel, not so much. The London Box Hill, not so much, because there's a long break between Box Hill or Fox Hill. But definitely the Forward Watopia and the Reverse Watopia are always very intense races, because you have very short breaks between the times when there is going to be attacks that are forced upon the racers. But it's mainly about what the racers are willing to do and what they're out there doing as far as tactics. It's also about who shows up to the race for the teams. You have 4 or 5 teams out there with enough racers. They're going to start putting out, rolling the dice, putting out the efforts left and right, actually, in order to break things apart and not come down to a race for a sprint. They want to start definitely keeping everybody honest out there is what tends to happen. Matt Healy coming out through saying, smash it, WBR. Never seen a live Zwift race before. Enjoying this. Ride on all. Good to have you here, Neil Todd. And glad to provide the broadcast for you. We do provide these races almost daily, actually. ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You can find all the places that we are live almost daily. We also have a Facebook that you can throw a follow to, or hit up all of our live streaming platforms. We are live on Mixer, Twitch, as well as YouTube. You can also catch our videos on demand over at our YouTube channel. Hodges now kicking away here. He's using an early power-up, actually. He will not be grabbing another one, I believe, before the finish line. So this is an early power-up. Not looking for a sprint finish, Mr. James Hodges here. Trying to keep things interesting, actually. Maybe hearing me in the broadcast here and saying, all right, if nobody else is going to do it, I'll go for it. He grabs 1 second, but Gren here chasing him down. But Gren here's got a little bit of a gap over the rest of the riders. If these two get away now, this could be it. But Hodges is going to have to hold on to 6 watts per kilogram to the finish, most likely, to hold off the likes of Christopher Mateus as well as Trzynski. But everybody is in a spot of bother right now. As you can see, the group is not really organized. It's not a large pack right now. Riders going off the front left and right. Gaps opening up here and there, and we are definitely seeing an innovation boy making his way to the front there. HS now right along with Trzynski, Mateus, Jacobson, all trying to hold on to the wheel. Gren now going right on by Hodges. Hodges has to grab that wheel. Now we do see, it looks like HS out of Germany here now 3.0 watts per kilogram, backed right on off the second that he was able to catch the front of this group. So attacks still taking place here as they make their way to the final few Ks. So nobody just resting up and waiting for the sprint at this point. At least not a whole lot of riders here waiting for the sprint. 183 beats per minute here coming from Grimshaw. 184 now at the front here. Now we do see Mateus here, 149 beats per minute. Bike point, he could attack, probably go off the front at this point. Now we are seeing the BRT rider, 171. Hugo there, 174. Jacobson, 176. Gren now, 177. Everybody's heart rate up into crazy numbers at this point, absolutely demolishing themselves. We are seeing, it looks like, Race WBR now still hanging in out of the Netherlands with Hugo. Back with the B riders, though, as they are making their way underneath Ocean Boulevard right now, we do have, it looks like, WBR still controlling the race at the front. Still a large contingent of riders, all Grupo Compacto in the B category. We are seeing Payne. It looks like Schlang is able to hang in there. The Drill's got a sprint, boys and girls. Eric Schlang, who runs ZwiftBlog.com, actually, he is killing it right now and able to hang in it amongst the racers. I wonder what kind of result that he can throw down today, but WBR definitely with the numbers out there today. Curtis from the BRT team moving up to the front, looks like. We also have Sousa was caught by these B riders. Van Mossel coming out of the Netherlands now, controlling the race at the front end of the Bs. First time rider watching. How much longer is this race? This is the bell lap right now, Andreas. This is the finish of the race. Andreas Kreutzer, good to have you here at the broadcast right now. And this is the final lap. Final lap. They got about, it's a 5K to go at the front end of the A race right now. In the B category, we do have, it looks like about a half a lap. So I would say about 3 miles or 6K to go in the 7K to go in the B category that we're watching right now. As they kick up the dust here into the Volcano course, though, the front end of the A race did have a little bit of attack past Scotty the Squirrel Fountain, but now it's going to be Hodges here, 2.1 watts per kilogram. Looking over his shoulder here, we can see it looks like B. Clark right along with Innovation, Grimshaw, and then Christopher as well. And they're all still hanging in strong here. They've dropped a few off here and there, but Jay Bank, I think this is going to be one to watch out for. He's been very, very quiet for the duration of the race. Jay Clark as well, not attacking, just following wheels. Szerzynski, 167. Innovation, though, always wants to be dealt with in the races. Wallace, though, up in the 182. Not sure he's got a whole lot left to work with. 58 minutes in, 28 miles covered or so far. Up at the front of the race now, Clark trying to get away, it looks like. Actually, it's HS here out of Germany, still with a little bit of gap. 160 beats per minute right now. 439 watts, taking a flyer off the front now. Jacobson now 3.3 at the front, just going to allow him to go. Maybe they're just trusting that the group is not going to allow this to stick. Hodges now seeing this gap, knows this might be a winning moment. Christopher now seeing that Hodges is a threat. There goes right along with him. Now 7 watts per kilogram. This is for all the chips on the table right now, boys and girls. Going from this early before the sprint finish could call it curtains for anybody's effort left in the legs. 8 watts per kilogram coming from Hodges here, trying to close it down to HS. Looks like he will be able to do so, but HS fades. That's not what Hodges wants to see. He wants to see a high pace. He wants to see working together to the finish line, but it's all over now. He gets back on the wheel, but HS isn't going anywhere. And maybe a wasted effort there from Hodges. His Innovation drags him back in. Wallace, the workhorse from Innovation, 191 beats per minute, drags the boys right back up to the wheel. C. Loke, definitely one to be watching out for from Innovation. Now 4.4 watts per kilogram. Maybe coming with a counter attack. Will it happen? Perrick there as well. Gren hanging in the wheels now. Hodges trying to rest after that attack off the front. He thought there was some effort off the front that he could work with, but there wasn't. Now it looks like Bank fading off the back from the BRT team after those attacks. Not going to be involved in the sprint, actually. Innovation now at the front with C. Loke here. They're about to kick one last time into the 2-tier, into the Volcano. This is it right here, boys and girls, and we do see Clark now, BRT team from New Zealand, the Kiwi starting to kick up 5.6 watts per kilogram. We just had the announcement of the Kiwi tour, actually, And now Clark from BRT showing maybe one of the riders to watch out for that tour, actually. 8.2 watts per kilogram here as he's throwing down at the front end of this race. Will Clark be able to win it for the BRT and the land of New Zealand here down under there? Jacobson now kicking one more time out of Sweden. Now 2 Swedish riders at the front now. Jacobson, Grimshaw out of the UK still hanging tough here. 4.2 watts per kilogram. Clark now sitting in 185 beats per minute. Grimshaw, Augustine is still there. The attacks coming though fast, furious, left and right, and riders are just falling like flies over and over again. Jay Lecoq off the back now. Innovation with Wallace won 191. We also seen Augustine just barely hanging on, able to stay with his teammates though, as you can see here. Mateus is there from Bike Point, 151 beats per minute. Maybe watching out for that rider for sure with such a low heart rate coming through the finish line here in just a moment. Hugo though at the front coming out of the Netherlands now. Race WBR still representing at the front of the A race now. Jay Gren now out of Sweden though, still hanging in. Watch out for Jay Gren for PTZ. Straczynski there for Team Poland, 178 beats per minute. Jay Lecoq as well. KRT still looking strong. Christopher here riding unattached, still looking for the sprint finish, 184 beats per minute. Now going off the front again. It's Clark, the Kiwi, just does not stop, but Innovation right on that wheel. 2 of the Innovation boys, as you can see in that Alienware kit. That's the kit that they use in game there. See Loke now right along with Wallace closing things down, waiting for that sprint effort. Looks like there's some confidence in the legs for the sprint as they just keep on covering the moves. Who's got the aero power-up is going to be the question as they make their way to the line. Lewis Dinsdale coming in, making a prediction there, says go KRT from Lewis Dinsdale. Go Hodges there coming from Rick Barbera now as they're coming into the finish line. Here's some predictions as the riders are making their way to the line. Rick Barbera coming through, go Hodges. We also see Lewis Dinsdale coming through, going for Hodges as well. Fixes my vortex tonight. Dinsdale saying, watching the Kiss race, nice coverage. Names phenomenal effort. Wayne Malpus is saying, go Hugo though. Matt Healy now cheering on the WBR racers. Who do you think is going to win for the finish today? They're in the last couple of K here for the finish right now. WBR off the front though, 4.5 watts per kilogram. We've got Gren now, 6.3 watts per kilogram coming out of his legs. Now 174 beats per minute. Loke going from way out, 178 beats per minute, but Gren out of Sweden's got an answer for him. Now 500 watts, but this is from way, way out, boys and girls. Looks like there's some sort of a turn in left trying to hit up the track there from the WBR boys, so some sort of connection issue coming from him. But now we've got Wallace, 197 beats per minute. Oh my goodness, just hanging on. The Grimshaw now here with Jacobson, Christopher, 185. BRT still hanging in. The Kiwi rider able to make it happen. But now on the downhill, they're all going to rest up. Those who know how to use the drafting dynamics know that you just sit in with the tuck right here, about 3 watts per kilogram, and you kick right at the bottom is where you're looking for. Augustine, 12 watts per kilogram. He's been dragged to the line. I know this rider's a BMXer, and he's got the kick with the aero power up. Gone, boys and girls. Augustine Forster with the win. The Kiwi letting boys and girls know that he's got the effort for the 5 seconds. The ultimate sprint from Augustine there. Now Straczynski with the aero power up, holding off Jay Gren to the line. Gren will take third, but K. Augustine showing you why BMXers got the highest power wattage for 10 seconds in the world, boys and girls. That absolutely, hands down, just dominated that sprint. If K. Augustine's in the sprint for the finish, boys and girls, you are not seeing that line first. Oh my goodness, Innovation for the win. Absolute domination of that sprint. Nice job. Perfectly timed there by Augustine. Threw it down there and was able to take the W. Back in with the B riders though, still killing it now. As we can see, K. Ruff here right along with Dahl now. Matthews, Jamison, WBR at the front just blowing the thing apart though. But Innovation again, Payne on the front, putting the pain into the legs now. 3.6 watts per kilogram, 156 beats per minute, as you can see. But it's going to be Colonel Cripps, it looks like, at the front 4.1 watts per kilogram. Innovation trying to follow it up. Seuss is there as well from the A category saying, who are these B-boys now catching me out here? Payne, though, still able to throw the Payne in the legs of the WBR boys, but it's Colonel and Payne off the front right now. And it's going to be Colonel still with 14 meters. It's a race of meters, boys and girls now. And it's 184 beat sprint. Not looking for a sprint finish now. WBR just following, though. As you can see here, Dick's just looking to follow up Innovation and Carlson, and it's going to be Carlson and Payne now that he's making sure that they just cover, but it's going to be Colonel now who gets caught. And now they still have 1 second over Mason, but it looks like it's all going to come back together for Grupo Compacto for a sprint finish unless we've got Carlson off the front. 4.3 watts per kilogram. Still steady all day long, but it's 177 beats per minute. They got to climb right in front of them right now, boys and girls. Not sure it's going to be happening as Carlson's off the front. He's going to have a lot of wattage here to hold off the likes of EF. There it is, 175 beats per minute. Absolutely killing it. But the Thackers Hackers is here with Junior. Absolutely killing it. 6.9 watts per kilogram. The Junior rider hanging on. Is he going to be able to go with these boys all the way to the finish line, showing them how the young blood gets it done out here? Curtis there, BRT now, able to hang in. Lord Glover, man. What is the Lord Glover killing it right now? Grant, WBR, still, Grupo Compacto, all together. Boys and girls are holding hands a little bit now. At 3.3 watts per kilogram, one last kick into the Volcano. Nobody allowed any kind of leeway. All together, it's going to be a sprint finish to the line, boys and girls, as they come through this section of the course. Carlton Kirby of Zwift, how's it going? Oh, thanks a lot, Wayne. I think ask Simon about that one. He's going to love you for that one there, Wayne Malpas. Snapped my 15-millimeter spanner. Oh, my goodness. Not sure what that even means, but that's too bad to hear. Brian Great Church, loved that finish. Great. It was a great effort out there, Brian. Appreciate you hanging out at the broadcast as well. Lots of comments coming through here. What's the prediction, though, boys and girls? Innovation, they took the win with Kyle Augustine in the A race. Now we've got B. Curtis as well in the BRT team. We've got as well KRT with Tucker here. Can't take the W, but definitely going to be in amongst the sprint. We've got Race WBR. They got a lot of numbers. I mean, look at the numbers here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 riders from WBR, maybe even 6 with Dahl off the front there. Absolutely killing it right now, WBR. So they've got the numbers, but Innovation, man, they are definitely some tactical riders. Those Innovation training rides that they've been getting done with those sprint efforts definitely showing themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. Eric Schlane riding for Zwift Blog out there and the TFC. Definitely be watching out for him. He's got a sprint. He's got the drill. Riding for DeWalt. Wow. He can just go ahead and throw down the wattage any day he wants, you think. So maybe watch out for the drill out there. D. Allen now. Schlang now at the front now. Here goes WBR with an early attack. Maybe trying to loosen up the legs of some of the other riders as the WBR boys can just follow anybody who tries to bring it on back here. And now it looks like WBR is able to grab onto 2 seconds, but 3 seconds in the last K is nothing if they get that lead-out train going for Innovation. Payne putting the Payne at the front now again. Dick's now just following it up there at 7.9 watts per kilogram, covering the move. Race WBR at the front with MR, though. MR coming out of Great Britain might be able to hang on to this. We're going to see if this is going to happen now for WBR. It looks like Eric, though, hanging smart there. 7 seconds, so 7 seconds is huge. Less than a K to go. Not sure they're going to be able to bring this back with 7 seconds, 8 seconds. He might completely disrupt and put the upset into the legs of the rest of the group at this point. Race WBR's got the numbers. They're not going to chase it down. They got the bulk of the riders in that chase group. But Lord Glover now making his way to the front now. 5.2 watts per kilogram. It looks like Curtains is there as well. It's all broken apart. It's a straight line. Now it's down to 4 seconds as we've got the Junior. Thackers the Hackers is killing it right now, boys and girls. The Junior's now upsetting everybody. 4.9 watts per kilogram. It looks like nobody's got anything left in the legs. The Junior rider at 6.0 watts per kilogram might be winning this race here, boys and girls. Is this going to be the next Team Dimension data? Is he a U23 Junior? I'd have to know, because winning races against this caliber here would be absolutely killer. But here we go, 6.3 watts per kilogram. Carlson, though, from Innovation with 10 watts per kilogram. Going to be pulling it off here. It looks like Thacker's now going to get caught, and it's going to be Thacker's to the line for second place. No, he gets caught right at the line by EF, but Carlson just barely holds him off, followed by EF. No, I'm not even sure. EF, I think, was caught by Tucker. WBR, we'll have to wait for the officials, boys and girls. I got no idea. That was a photo finish, except for Calcium coming from Innovation, throws it down, wins the race. Solid effort there. The drill just didn't have enough wah-wah there. And no go to the line for Slang. Nice effort out there for the TFC, though. And let's go ahead and take a look at the race results provided by ZwiftPower.com. Looking through here, we do have Kyle Augustine. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to show you guys my desktop here real quickly. And we got Kyle Augustine coming through here. First place, solid 2-second effort from that sprinter. Peter Szynski for second, followed by Johan Gren. These are preliminary results. So just so you know, not official results, but that most likely can rely on them. Carlson for that first place, followed by EF and then Craig Kolb. Solid effort all around. Brad Curtis right on the edge, though, as you can see here, 4.0 watts per kilogram. Here's what I was talking about earlier about the C category, though, boys and girls. 3.4, 3.7, 3.3, 3.4, 3.6, boys and girls. Time for some upgrades, as here are the category limits as you head into the races. A is 4.0 plus, B is 3.2 to 4.0, C is 2.5 to 3.2. So for your functional threshold power, what is your FTP? It is what you can hold for 1 hour straight. You can do a test for 20 minutes and multiply that by 0.95 to get about an idea of what you can do. The test is an all-out test average of what you can handle for those 20 minutes. All right, we got the B and the A category riders to the finish line. That'll be our coverage for the day, I believe, out there today. I'm going to see where some of the C riders are at here really quickly, and if we can find them, we will try and bring in some coverage, but we got all kinds of turned around out on course today. Coming up, though, for our next coverage, we definitely have tomorrow. We have the Women's Gateway Ride with Zuskana, as well as we may have a top secret special broadcast on what the latest is out on Zwift with a lot. I mean, there's so many announcements going on right now. You got the new CVR World Cup coming up in September. We've got the Dimension Data, Zwift Academy, as well as the Women's Zwift Academy. We've got all of the new race formats that are taking place. Lots and lots of stuff happening out in the world of Zwift. So definitely just keep an eye out for what we've got coming your way. There's also the Greg Henderson workouts that have been launched. The next one's going to be next Tuesday at 3 p.m. CST, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you like to work out with Greg Henderson, Coach Hendy himself, we're going to be doing a 6-week training program with him. You can tune in and jump into the workout with us actually live, so that's going to be great. So thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. As always, great job to all of the racers. And as always, a big old ride on to everybody. I'm going to just double check our social medias and see if there's any questions coming through really quick here. We are seeing great broadcast. Thanks a lot, guys. Good show. Appreciate it. Keith Carter. Cheers, Nathan. No problem, Pedro. Thanks a lot. You guys really appreciate all of you for hanging out and all of your comments coming through. I'm just going to double check the Mixer channel here real quick just to make sure that we don't have any questions coming through just yet. Looks like we're all good there as well. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for some more broadcasts with Zuskana, as well as maybe some web show time as well. If you're unfamiliar with Zwift, for those of you hanging out on Mixer, this is what you were just watching. A lot of people are like, what is going on here? We don't have any riders on board today to show you the real life effort. So here's a little video from Zwift to give you an idea of exactly all that is going on, because we get those questions all the time. And that'll be it for the broadcast from me, though. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.